Shalom Uvracha, my family and friends of this year coming, Tufshin Pei Aleph, 5781. I stand in front of you in the new shul, in our social hall. It's set up in front of me, beautiful tables. Behind me on the patio, with Kanai Nahara, over 120 people will be attending, Baruch Hashem. To those of you who are unable to attend, our hearts are together with you. Our tefillos from your homes and from the shul, or wherever we are, will go up to Shemayim as one, as a Kehillah of Beis Yaakov, a Beth Jacob congregation from San Diego. Today, I would like to address the format and the expectations for Yomim Noraim, for the holidays here in shul. Typically, every year, Hashana, we begin at 7:45. We finish around 1:15. This year, it's very difficult to guess. People ask me, when are we going to finish? I really don't know. We said approximately a certain time, but it's not so much about the time, but it's how we're going to try to make it the most beautiful, comfortable, safe, and environment for everyone's tefillos, for everyone's yontif, and really for everyone's year. And therefore, we hope to finish. Really going to press me, hopefully 11:15. Please don't hold me to that. But I do want to just explain how we're going to do that and why this is something we must do now, but not necessarily every other year. During the davening, we have what's called piyutim. Piyutim are liturgical compositions, poems, different ideas that were created throughout time and added on throughout the davening many years and over time. Those non-essential up to the tefillah of the davening, of the structure of the main body of davening, are going to be cut out. So pretty much whenever it says congregation and chazan, those are going to be left out. Whenever when it says that the ark is going to be open, typically those items, we will still be saying them. We will be minimizing the amount of singing, but not totally. There are some parts of the davening that are incredibly important and stirring down to the core of who we are. And therefore, we're not going to be going fast, per se, but we'll be saying less. But saying that less will be at a normal pace. And therefore, by cutting down, we'll be able to do that. During the Kriyas HaTorah, people will be called up. People who purchased aliyos and honors will have one mishaberach, and that will be it. And the drasha, I promise, will be shorter as well. But I want to share with you the importance and why people might say, well, we're cutting out the piyutim, those liturgical poems and things. Well, why do we always cut them out? What do we say them for? Happens to be that on Rosh Hashana, the power of Tefilla, which we underestimate and we don't appreciate, is so great that we feel that one time a year we should pile it on. We should daven longer, in a sense, say more, because there's so much at stake for the entire year. And the more we daven, the more tefillah, the more prayers, the greater results that we could yield for the entire year. Unfortunately, this year, people want to say extra tefillos. I recommend them, but at the leisure of your own pace, whether at home or even if you come to shul, you could still do so afterwards and say those same piyutim as well. It's brought down in the Torah in Shulchan Aruch, in Orach Chaim Siman Aleph, the very beginning of davening. Ki tov ma'at tachanunim b'kavana. It is better to have fewer prayers and supplications with proper concentration and intent and direction, meharbos below kavana, with more prayers without any intention, without any good thinking and emotions. And therefore, just to say more for the sake of more without feeling it, it's not worth it. It's far better to actually have more kavana in fewer times. I want to share with you something very powerful about the concept of tefillah. We know that we say in the Nisana Tokef, at the end, we call out the words, Usashuva, Usafila, Tzedakah. That with tshuva, repentance, tefillah, prayer, and tzedakah, and charity. Ma'aviras ro'a gezerah. We have the ability to wipe out the evil decree. And that's something that's in all the machzorim, in every single pretty much printed version. Nevertheless, the Gemara, the Rishalmi in Tainus, in Perek Beis, Halacha Aleph, and it's also mentioned in the Medrash Rabbah, says something incredible. That really, the order is mentioned is Tefilla u'tzedakah u'teshuva. That actually we see the importance of Tefillah, that prayer is actually on Yomim Noraim, it's the beginning, it's the first. And Tefillah have a rachameh, Tefillah prayer is the ways of getting mercy from HaKadosh Baruch Hu the entire year. Kal v'chomer, how much more so on the days of Yomim Noraim, on the days of Rosh Hashana and Yom Kippurim, where God, the King, is the Melech HaMishpat. He's sitting on the Kisei HaKavod, he's saying on the throne of judgment to every single creature comes in the world. And if our tefillah really is primary, and it really is the first of those three to knock out the evil decree, it's not tzedakah, it's not tshuva, it's prayer coming to the Ribono Shel Olam at this time. The mentioned to skip all the piyutim, there are tshuvas, we are using the rabbinic authorities that during Shachas and Musaf to cut these out in order to bring it down to a certain level. But the Chavetz Chaim in Siman Kuf Yud Beis brings down from the Tshuvas of Radvaz, one of the Rishonim, he was asked a question from heaven, and whether or not they should do away with the piyutim, and the Radvaz in a very long responsa says that most of the Gaonim, most of the Rishonim, they say that it is permissible in general to say piyutim, and it's a beautiful custom. But unfortunately, our situation, when it's a hora shah, when the time is the way it is today, because of the magefa, the pandemic, we will curtail that. And hopefully through this method of curtailing it, we'll have an opportunity to daven b'shleimus, with sincerity, in a way that our hearts go out to the Ribono Shel Olam in a beautiful way, that all of our tefillos, once again at home or in shul, will be heard literally to the Kisei HaKavod, to God's ears, and God willing, we will all be inscribed in the book of life. And God willing, everyone will have a ksiva v'chasima tova, wishing everyone a good, happy, and healthy, a gebencht new year of Tafshin Pei Aleph.